Hello friends! Welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be doing a flip through of my July planners. So it's Sunday, it's crazy hot where I am right now, so I may be taking little breaks to cool myself. But other than that, it should be a pretty standard flip through. If you follow my channel, you'll know I made some changes for my catch-all planner, and may continue some of those changes going forward, may add some things back, just trying a lot of new things, and due to circumstances had to eliminate a few things. But hopefully we can discuss all that, and then if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. I will be happy to answer any questions you guys have. And yeah, that's basically it. So I will periodically check the chat for questions, so there may be things interjected here and there in the middle of the flip through, but for the most part we'll go pretty quick through the main meat and potatoes of my planner. And yeah, okay, so let's jump in. So let's see. You guys know, okay, so let me start from the beginning in case you're new. I use this disc-bound planner in kind of a strange way. I have multiple planners that I put into this one planner. I put in a month at a time so that I can do multiple planners and just use this one. So you're going to see I'm going to go through the months of some various planners that I use in here and how I use them, and then I will move them out into their own individual planners for, well, actually, I'm going to do that off camera because I do not have them handy right now. So, but anyway, that's my normal process, is to remove out one month and put in a new month. But I've already have all of August in here, and so you'll kind of see that we're already pre-set up, and I would just be removing out July. Okay, yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in. So, like I said, I have all that in here. This is my catch-all. I have a few sections here at the front that I'll just quickly mention. I won't really go through them. I have a task section which uses the Getting Things Done inbox by David Allen, right? Suddenly his name just blanked on me. But yeah, so I have a printable in my shop that kind of helps me organize using that method. And so I have that here in the front in its own tab, and then I have a goals tab, which is where I keep my goals section. And in here I do have a setup of all of the pages I made in here. I do quarterly goals, so I've been doing and following along with these goals this year, and this has been pretty good. So I have my goals section there, and then the main area we're going to be talking about today, which is my schedules area. So that's kind of where we're going to live in this video, but if you guys have any questions about what I just showed you in the front or anything that you're gonna be referenced in the back, just let me know. And I'm also really looking for video ideas that you guys are interested in, because there's so much content out there. I don't know exactly what you need, so if anything comes to mind as you're going through, please leave that in the chat. I would be really grateful to get any kind of suggestions you guys have for video ideas. But okay, so yeah, so first part of the schedule section, I have my yearly, annual stuff here at the front. This is where I just keep my future log. And again, this is from my shop. This is the future log yearly pages that you can buy separately. And then I have a folder and a pen holder with my friction pen. I do use friction pens, which are erasable, and that is because I make tons of mistakes and I don't like to have a lot of crossouts and things like that, or lots of whiteout. So friction pens I pretty much use solely in my planner for the day-to-day writing, and that's really helpful for me personally. Okay, so the very first section used to be my face section, and it will be again. I took a break in July because at the end of June I got COVID, and it just threw my whole thing off. But I did do a recent flip through of all of my faith bullet journal spreads, start to finish, for 2022. So if you want to see all of that, there is a video I put up just last week, and you can see how I've been using my faith planner in here. I will bring it back. I just don't know when. I took another break for August just because I got super busy. But maybe September or October is when I'll be able to bring it back. So look for that. So that carries us right into the next planner that I usually use, which is my daily section. So there's a few things in here I'm starting to feel like I need to retire, including this very first morning routine insert I've had in here for quite a while. So this is my daily routines section. So it's just kind of like a master page or a master schedule for me to follow for certain things, including my morning routine. And then I have a master weekly schedule, which, just goes through all of my week and how I would like it to go if everything went to plan. And then finally I have a block schedule here. And then all of those I do have a video set up on, so if you want more about that, just let me know in the comments after the video is over so that I can send you the link. And then I've moved my little summer bucket list to this area because I was starting to get a little bit distracted with its placement previously, which was on my monthly, which you'll see in a minute. So I've just moved it to here so that I can remember to check it, but it wasn't quite so prominent in my planner as it was the previous few months. But it's just a really cute little bucket list idea that I had that was just a way to bring some more fun into my summer. And finally I have this monthly cleaning schedule, which again I have a video on the whole setup and how I did it. So I've got the monthly cleaning that I can do the checkoffs with, and then on the back I have annual style cleaning ideas, and I can check those off as I tackle them. Okay, so into July for my daily planner. I will say that the inserts I'm using here are from my shop. For the daily this month, I decided to try a new planner layout, which is coming soon to my shop, you guys. I know I keep saying that. I think I said that in the last video. But yes, within, I would say, a week or so, the undated versions of the layout I'm going to show you here will be available in my shop. It's brand new. It's something I wanted to try, and I really loved it. I did go back to horizontal this month, but I really, really loved the 4-page week, which I'll show you here in a second. So that is where the layouts came from. They're from my shop, but the layout I'm going to show you guys is not actually in my shop right now. But the monthly is, and so here is my monthly layout for July. Yeah, this one was really fun. I decided to do a 4th of July blowout theme, lots of red and blue, and then got some gold accents here. I used this layout mainly for memory keeping, so that's how I've been doing it for over a year now. I love the just kind of putting down a quick memory each day and then going back and really just seeing how my week or my days where we're going during a certain time frame. I'm kind of routine. I don't do a lot of things out of the ordinary, so it's really nice to kind of have a way to break up each day and make each frame of time individual from something else. For July, I also had kind of a big event. I went to Comic-Con in July, and so I highlighted those days a little bit and kind of just did a quick summary of the things that I did while I was there. And I also use the sidebar for birthdays and then any other events and stuff that comes up that I want to remember. So as I'm writing in my memory, I check it here, and then I also transfer that into my weekly. And finally, I put in a books I've read section. So haven't been doing much reading lately because I've been so busy, but hopefully I'll be able to fill in more books sooner than later. So this is how it turned out. It was a really fun one. I actually really enjoyed this, and yeah. Okay, so here is the first spread of the first week in July, and well, actually this is the second week in July. So this setup I did not do on camera. This was when I was actually still recovering from COVID, and it was my first week in this layout, trying things out, seeing how I could use it. So what I decided to do on this one was more of a kind of like upper design, and then leave most of the rest of the design kind of open, and then a few highlights down at the bottom, but using more boxes and then kind of just taking up this first quarter of the pages for the decor of the spread. I think the idea was good. The stickers that I used for this wasn't my favorite just because they didn't have a lot of contrast, and I was limited for the stars, but this was definitely for the Plannable Challenge in the stars. We came up with that because it's kind of, a lot of people were celebrating Independence Day here in the United States, so we wanted to kind of make it, if you wanted to go that route, you could do like Stars and Stripes, and if you didn't want to go that route, you could do like kind of night sky like I've done, or anything else about stars. So this is how I decided to go with it, since I had such an Independence Day monthly. And it, like I said, it was my first week in this, like for real, and I did do a sample earlier in, I think in June, but this was like my first time for the month, and so it was a little bit rough, and I was coming off of COVID, so things were weird. But I learned a few things that I liked about it. One, I really liked the extra room. So getting a half a page basically for a day was perfect. I could put in a small like hourly schedule. I could put in checklists. I could put in things about my social, highlight, focuses, anything, you know, that I really wanted to, and still have room for decor. So I love that about it, and because of that, I think I will definitely be using this layout in the future. Things that were a little bit rough, like I said, the color scheme really wasn't very energizing this week, so that was kind of a challenge for me. But again, this was how the first week turned out, and or the first half of the week turned out, and then so the second half of the week looked like this. Very similar. I like to keep everything in the same theme, so both spreads will usually match when I do these kinds of layouts. And I like to also match like my highlighters and things to the color scheme, so everything feels like it's part of one thing. One thing I will note, when I first set up this layout type, there was this week, I put it at the back. I put it here where Sunday is and had shifted everything forward. So started with Monday through Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday plus this week. I discovered that I really liked that a lot better. I know a lot of people suggested that I move the this week to the front, but what I found, for any of you guys interested in this layout, is that you kind of work forward. So, you know, it's Tuesday, but you're thinking, oh yeah, Thursday, I have some stuff coming up. So you're constantly working forward, but once the days pass, I don't oftentimes go back to that day. So once I got to Wednesday and went over to Thursday, I kind of started forgetting about the this week column, versus if I had it here, I feel like I would be constantly looking towards it. So my plan is to actually put the this week at the back on the printables that I'm going to be offering in my shop. That's one of the reasons why I haven't offered it yet, is because I like to try things, see what works, what doesn't, especially when it's a layout I'm creating from scratch. And so I personally found that to be just better, a better flow with this type of layout. But I know that some people don't like that, so we may have, you know, two options in there. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to work that out, but I will say personally, having this week at the back was much better, and I do plan to offer it that way in my shop. But anyway, so that kind of goes over the layout and how I used it this week. And you know, this one was a little bit rough because it was the first, you know, one I really used, but the next week I feel like it really came together a lot better. Okay, so for the second week I decided to do this kind of tropical vibes theme using Planething stickers. She had some really cute stickers come out recently, or sticker books I should say, and I paired them with some travel stickers that I had in my stash, and just kind of made some tropical vibes work here in the July planner, or in my July planner. Hold on, I need to check and see if this was a, I can't remember, I think it was a plannable challenge. Just need to remember which one. Oh yes, okay, so it was the Choose Your Own Adventure Planner Challenge. So this is what I decided to do, and it was a fun one. I mean, my adventure would be to go on vacation all the time, but life does not work that way, and you don't appreciate it when you're out there. I was just telling a friend, this is a side note, that I live in San Diego, California, which a lot of people come here just to come and hang out in this city and go to our beaches and everything. And it's just so different when you live here. We hardly get to the beach. We live a little bit inland, and it's like, I don't know, it's just different when you live in these kind of vacation areas. You don't really experience it like a tourist would, where you get to enjoy all of the beauty and the wonder of it. You kind of take it for granted for the most part. So, yeah, that's just a side note. But yeah, I would really like to, be hanging out at the beach all the time and, sipping drinks and enjoying a little sunbathing in the water. But yeah. So anyway, this is my choose my own adventure. This is my wishful thinking adventure. Some things I liked about this, I kind of changed up how I was doing the hourly, and I liked that a lot. I just basically started doing kind of like a simple, time frame that I thought I would be really doing a majority of the work that I work on each day, and just breaking it up into time. This really helped keep me on task and kind of judge where I should be throughout my day. I loved that. Of course, I've got my checklists, I've got my focus boxes, and I try to keep it fairly consistent on this one. So focuses are all kind of at the top, the schedules are here, and then like the checklist here and the social down at the bottom, I believe. So this was the second part of that spread, and you can kind of see what I meant about being kind of consistent about where everything was. And it was just a really good one. I loved the colors. It's very energizing as opposed to the one I had done before. And, you kind of get the contrast here. This one was really just more like, sadly, somewhat depressing. And then this one was more like vibrant and energizing. And, color really does play with me personally when I am in my planner. So I love the aesthetic of the neutral planners and minimal planners, but I feel like the color really just helps me, just kind of gives that oomph to me and my day. I don't know if you guys agree, but let me know in the chat if you guys are affected by color. And I don't know if you can hear that siren, but there is a siren right now, of course, coming by my street. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Okay, so this was the second week. And then here is the third week. So this one was fun. This one was my Comic-Con spread. I don't know. I just have so much fun with the whole Comic-Con theme and just getting revved up for the event. It's really a tiring and somewhat laborious day at Comic-Con, but there's just so much excitement built up around it. And then the people you see, I just saw some really awesome cosplay. I saw this one guy who dressed up as the Joker, and oh my goodness, he was really spot on, really scary, like the Heath Ledger Joker. So yeah, it was just cool. And anyway, so I did this spread based off of that. I found these stickers online just through a Google search and made my own. So I found these images, they weren't stickers already, and kind of cut them out and made my own stickers out of them. And then I also added in some quotes and things I thought kind of matched up, but I really just wanted it to be very Marvel superhero, and I think it really came together pretty good. Yeah, I used mainly the blue and the red to match up, I think, with gray, and that was really fun. And I just, again, kind of kept what was working for me, that kind of time frame thing, and the checklists and the focus boxes, and that all worked really well. And this was the second one. So this was where I kind of just did a dump of everything that happened on Comic-Con day 1 and day 2, since I really wasn't at home doing any kind of work type stuff. It was really just at the event. So I just wanted to do like a quick summary of each thing that, was kind of the highlight for the afternoon, and that worked out really good. And then I went back to my standard, more scheduled like setup. But this is a really good idea if you are not that busy, or if you have something special planned like a vacation and you're not going to be in your planner. going back and kind of doing a summary of what you did each day while you're on vacation while it's still fresh in your mind. And then that way, when you go back through your planner, you can kind of remember all those things that you did, or it's a almost like a memory keeping journaling style that you can reference later down the road. So I really think that that's a fun way to use your planner too, especially if you have specific days that you're not going to be using it for, some kind of fun reason. That's a really good way to do that. So this is how the final pages turned out, and really loved this spread a lot. And then finally we have the Christmas in July spread. Me and Catherine over at Planogram always do a Christmas in July theme in July, just because we love that idea of bringing a little bit of the holiday spirit into the summer months. And this was a fun one. So previously I kind of tried things top and bottom, so I really wanted to try different formats for the decor in this new layout. So for the very first one, I said I had like at the top, and then here I kind of focused more on the bottom for decor, and then on the Comic-Con I kind of did more of a triangular, almost like a not like a W, but you know what I mean, like up down kind of format, up down side, more randomized. And then on this one I decided to do a border. So for unique ways to place stickers on the spread, just thinking as a whole, not a specific theme. And I really liked the border as well. I didn't find any real problems with any of the layouts at all, because there's just so much room. You always can find room to get what you need onto the spread. I had lots of work kind of start to build up around this time, so you can see a lot more to-dos. Still got my little short hourlies in there, and focus boxes and things like that, and my social. But again, I just really loved having all this room. I had so much to write down, and it was just right on time. And then here we've got the second page and of the week. And this one, again, kind of the same layout. I try to keep it consistent. This one was really good as well. Same type of thing, just put things where I thought they would fit each day, and didn't really have any problems at all. And then at the back of all of my personal setups, I like to put a habit tracker here instead of the notes page that comes standard with the planners. And so I have a habit tracker just to keep track of some basic things that I track in my life. And this is also available in my shop if you like this format. And I color code it just to make it a little bit easier to kind of follow along throughout the month. But yeah, so that's basically it. And like I said, I don't have my planners handy. I'd have to get up, and I reorganized my whole setup, so they're not at hand as they used to be. So we'll just leave it in here, but normally I would just take this out and put it in its own individual planner, specifically for my daily section. I call that my daily section. And I have August already moved in with my top tabs already in place. I haven't talked about my top tabs in a while, so I'll just quickly mention them. I use these to navigate through my planner, so I have all of my different planners, and then I can easily just go to each of the monthlies here, which are usually on this tab, the second tab. The front tab is usually the special section in the front of the planner. The weekly is usually on the third, and then the habit tracker type areas tend to be here on this fourth tracker. So I've been doing that for a long time. It's just the easiest way I've found to quickly get to what I need to every day, and not have to weed through pages and miss things that I want to make sure I'm touching each day. So again, I have those already set up for August, put in there, and we are moving into the next planner. So next comes my health planner, which I'm currently using a wellness layout from my shop in this section. I've also customized it with a water tracker, which you'll see. Yeah, so it's just a wellness layout, which is very similar to the health layout in my shop, just the boxes are kind of rearranged, and then the standard one does not come with a water tracker, but because I've done so many health spread so much, I really wanted that water tracker. I didn't want to have to add it each week. So it starts off with this goals page insert thing that I made. I made one last year too. This year's is a little bit more simplified in the inside, but the outside is kind of similar. I have a goals set up here on the first flap, and then on the back I have this find your happy weight kind of informational page, which I have all set up on camera, so if you want to follow along, there are videos showing the setup of both this, and then there's one for the inside setup. So I'm not going to show the inside setup just because in there I'm tracking my weight and my measurements along with all of my health stats for each month. And yeah, so aside from that, it's all, you can see the whole setup and make one for your own if you want, and get all the details from those videos. Again, got that here. And then I start off with the, oh yes, so I put this here. I'm glad I put this here. And usually it's a couple pages in, which is part of my perpetual calendar where I track my weight and body fat daily. So I've been doing that. I wasn't sure if I was going to continue it after, July hit, but I decided just to keep it going and just do the full year. It's just good information to, I guess, to reference, but it hasn't really helped me either way to lose more weight, just seeing it every day. It's just something I'm kind of now in the habit of tracking, so I just have continued it. So we're going to go ahead and jump to the month, which is here. So for the monthly, I don't really do any setup videos here in my health planner as far as the monthly. This monthly in particular, again, is from my shop. This one is a special one that has lines on it, so it's a lined monthly, and I just use that because I basically do a summary of my symptoms or, like how I'm feeling, excuse me, each day in this section along with tracking my daily steps. So I like to have at least some lines to keep things somewhat neat. It's not usually neat, but it's good to have at least some kind of order to the chaos when I write this part in. So I just kind of keep track of all the different things that are going on with me and try to figure out like maybe some causes to some of my chronic issues and how I might be, helping myself versus hurting myself, or weather or things that are affecting me. For any of you guys who are interested, I actually somehow started smelling again in the middle of the month, which was a big deal for me. I don't know if it was because I got COVID, and then once I got COVID or COVID went away, like my smell came back for some reason, but I haven't had a sense of smell for like over 2 years just because of my congestion and things that I carry in my sinuses. So yeah, it was just kind of a fun little tidbit. But so all month I was trying to like figure out what was I doing to help me smell again. Like, what did I do? Did I eat certain foods? And so this really comes in handy at that point to try to figure out, okay, I was doing these things, I was taking these supplements, and see if that had any correlation. I'm kind of in the idea that I think that COVID had some part to play in this because I had COVID early in the month. But I'm not 100% sure. But it's really just, again, good to have this information because then I can kind of figure out like what was I doing right and see if I can get some information from just, the daily tracking. I'm just going to check the chat real quick. Oh yeah, I see a couple people coming in. Hi. So one new thing that I started to add, which I think I'm going to continue, is just an overall summary of like highlights from the month. Because it's a lot to go through each day and read through each one and figure out what I was doing and what I wasn't. But like I said, I can kind of see, okay, I had COVID at the beginning of the month here, got my sense of smell back, had some shoulder pain, that's another issue I'm dealing with, had Comic-Con, lost the smell again. Yeah, so I lost the sense of smell. It only lasted for like a week. But it was a great week, you guys. It was a really great week. If you've ever lost your sense of smell, life is just a little bit duller. So it was really fun to smell and taste food differently again, and it's just been a while, so it was good times. Okay, so enough about that. I did the setup just kind of on a whim. I looked for some random stickers that I don't really use and kind of just created something by cutting up one of the box stickers and making some triangles and just coordinating the highlighters with that. And I also did my little, well, it's not my little, it's somebody else's little hack where you get, you know, 2 days out of one box lay over here. I do show how I do that in the daily monthly setup, the one I did with the memory keeping. So if you want to see just, you know, the little setup that I did there, I show that in that video. But yeah, so this is how it turned out. And it's been good, like I said, for me to reference when I need to. Oh, interesting. So I just saw in the chat somebody else had, I don't know how you say that, tinnitus. I always read it wrong and then say it wrong. And then theirs cleared up after COVID. So I think, yeah, I feel like COVID had something part to play in me kind of getting everything cleared up for a minute there in my sinuses, and my allergies kind of, you know, backing up. But I think it's coming back. It's coming back. Anywho, so here is the first week of July, and so again, this was another one I didn't record because I was, you know, in the heart of COVID. I wanted to use these stickers that I had got from Colibri Charms earlier in, I think in June. They were just the perfect Independence Day stickers, and I just wanted to get some use out of them. I really liked how it turned out. It's a little bit different but fun, and it definitely gave you those Independence Day vibes. I do kind of a standard thing. I usually put my workouts in, as well as like how much time I spent with each one and how many calories I burned. So that's usually at the top, but sometimes it shifts around. I also track all of my stats that I use or that I get from my Apple Watch. So these are the basic ones that I tend to track and want to know more about. And then I also write in a food log every day. I'm currently doing Weight Watchers, but I will probably stop at the end of August. So for now, I'm doing Weight Watchers and tracking my total points. And then once I get back off of that, I'll do the same thing, but I'll use MyFitnessPal, the app, to track, and then just do my total calories, which I've been doing most of the year. And so that's kind of how the normal format is on my health spreads or my wellness layout here. And then in the sidebar, I always have a couple of habits I'm tracking, my trying to get to 10,000 steps a day, closing my Apple Watch rings, and then right now I'm doing my daily points, trying to stay under my daily points on Weight Watchers. And then, of course, my habit tracker, which I've added into this layout, which does not come standard. It's a customization. Quickly shout out if anybody goes to my shop, sees a layout they like, but they like it tweaked or just something a little bit different, just send me a message in Etsy and we can customize it. So I'll give you a quote on the little, you know, the added effort there. It's usually not much, and you know, you can get it just how you want it. So that was how this week turned out. Next, we have, this one was kind of like a garden-y farmer's market theme. I did something really similar this week too. Not exactly similar, but had more of like a fruits and vegetables type of theme. Just because I'm trying to eat healthier, and summer's the perfect time to just get those rainbow of veggies into your diet. So I really like the idea of it, and then it's also really pretty to look at. I, again, have my workouts here at the top. I did kind of just like a veggie lineup here and almost like a rainbow order, and then just some standard green down here at the bottom to tie it all together. Everything else is pretty much the same over here. Set my goals for the week, what I wanted to achieve, and then my habits, and yeah, kind of the same thing. So this one was fun. This one was from, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on her shop. Oh, Girl Boss Anna. She has these interesting, like, they're called overlay tapes or ink overlay tapes. And she also has some washi versions of these as well. But just kind of a cool idea. I wasn't real sure, honestly, when I first saw them. I was like, you know, I could see using them like once or twice, but I wasn't really seeing the long-term benefit of them. But as I got them and I tried them out, I really could see potential in adding them in different spreads and kind of color coordinating, using them almost like a highlighter would in a lot of spreads, just adding a little extra color somewhere where there wasn't any. So my idea for this was to kind of just, you know, showcase them and use them as the decor. And it really came out pretty fun. It was a little bit when I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do, it went back and forth quite a bit. I was like, do I want to do them vertically? Do I want to do them horizontally? And, you know, different ways that you could kind of stylize these. I've seen people do some really cute ideas with these, with like flowers, like, you know, putting them end on end and making flowers out of them, or just some random things that I would not have originally thought of. This idea was pretty unique. I hadn't seen anybody do this yet, but there were some other ideas that I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So some, you know, great ideas for using them if you guys are interested in these kind of like overlay inks and trying them out. There's some good tips there in the hashtag GirlBossAnna on Instagram. Let's see. So anyway, I really like this. Bright colors in my health planner always keep me energized. I have my stat stickers. I make these, if I haven't mentioned that, so I make these just on my computer and print them, and that's just the easiest way for me personally. I also have a foam memo printer that I used all last year to just kind of print them off as needed, and that worked out great too. I like both options. And then I also create these habit trackers on my computer, and I just have some different colors and options for those as well. But the rest of it was pretty simple, standard stuff. And yeah, I really like this one with the bright, fun colors. So here is the last week of July, and again, this one I went for the bright, fun colors, but I used the Planny Thing, I think it's Houses and Trees Part 2 sticker book. Really, I was so happy when I saw it. I saw it on Instagram first, and she was showcasing it, or, you know, doing a flip through. And I was like, finally, somebody is doing just tree stickers, because I've whined about this before in the past, about how I feel like there's not enough trees in like the Happy Planner lineup. You have all of these different, you know, styles of flowers and things, but there was nothing that was like just trees, aside from the old school like squad goals sticker book. There was some trees in there, and I used those up like almost immediately. I just think that they create a fun vibe on some, you know, more like when you're trying to create an atmosphere like this one is. So I was really happy about that book, and then I saw these houses, well, it's like a little town stickers, like little, you know, small town business stickers. And I thought they were super cute, and I noticed that there was one in pretty much every color of the rainbow. And I was like, oh yes, we're doing this. So I created a rainbow spread using all of those stickers. And I also did some washi tape, kind of match up with those to kind of continue that rainbow color theme down. And then I used my favorite washi tape with this like kind of cloud washi. I love how that looks. And yeah, just created like a little scene. Added my workouts in at the top, and everything else is pretty much standard, but it was a really fun one to be in all week. I really loved this vibe. I just kind of got distracted there for a second. I was looking at Kathy's comment there in the chat. Yeah, she mentions about being, you know, not a channel about promoting products. I will say a little bit about that right now, because I too do not want to be constantly promoted to in content creators' channels. So I understand the kind of fatigue from that, and I definitely do not want to go there. I am happy to support small businesses like myself who, they're just, small creators, one women shops usually, and, kind of help them by showcasing their product and giving people ideas of how to use their product. But I never want to be like, buy this, buy that. I really try not to push it on people. And hopefully you guys understand and appreciate that. There are some ways that it hurts me as a creator because, of course, I'm not making as much money as some of the bigger creators are. But I believe in that idea of just letting people, showing people what they can, showing people a product that I believe in, but not pushing it on them and not making it so like everything that I do is about promotion. So I just wanted to address that real quick, Kathy. I appreciate you saying that, and I too believe in that as a rule for my channel. Okay, so that is the last spread for my health planner. And then finally, I have at the back here another habit tracker, which I just modified slightly, putting meds and supplements here and meds and supplements here instead of habit trackers. And the rest of it is pretty much my standard habit tracker. So it's just a quick overwrite of that. So that's what I'm talking about, like with customization, if that's something that you really, just want to tweak something in my shop already, that's an easy fix and can get that done and out to you. So I just want to put that out there. But anyway, so I use this to track my, things that I'm taking for all of my chronic meds and things, and just how much I'm taking and when. And again, it kind of helps reference back to my monthly, what's working, what's not, and I can see what I was taking during that time. So again, normally this would just come out and put into its own separate health planner, but I don't have them handy. Of course, I sat down a little too early trying to get things started. But yeah, so I'll move that out just after I close out this live. So this is going to be a short one this week because I only have one more section to go through. I have my tabs already set in for August for my health. And next we have my social growth or my social planner. My social has changed. I was doing a dashboard layout for my shop, for the beginning of the year. And I just felt like my planner time in the morning was taking so much time. And I really just wanted to come back and like pull back a little bit from that, which led me to that 4-page week layout so that I can kind of combine the social aspects into my weeklies. And then also I just wanted to simplify my life a little bit without the health planner, because the health planner does take up, I would say, at least 15 to 20 minutes each morning going through that, process. So trying to streamline anything else from there was important. I really wanted to see what I could do. So instead of having a full social media planner, I've changed it to just a monthly layout, just so I could get a full scope of the content I want to do for the month, and then from there I can, each week transfer it into my daily section of the planner. So at the beginning, all I have here is from my shop a perpetual calendar, which I use to track my followers and subscribers on IG and YouTube. So we've got that running list there, and then real quick, it's basically using the Happy Planner monthly extension pack for the last half of 2022. So I have it all in here because they're basically just front and back tabs, and it's undated, so I went ahead and dated it as I went, but this is how it basically looks each month. The color changes a little bit, but it's basically the same each month. And like I said, I threw in a couple stickers from the extension, insert, and numbered it by hand to make it a little bit easier. And then, like I said, I just have all the months in here. There's only the 6 months left. They're all completely like back to back. So I can show you an example. Sorry, throat's giving out. So yeah, so there's no divider fronts. So you go right from the October spread to the November spread. So they're all backed up like this in this planner, or extension pack. So I took the very first tab from there, which was unlabeled and started with July, and then from there I just made it continuous. So just a quick overview of how I use this. It's very pen, no design at all, very functional. I put in the plannable challenge themes here on the edge. Oh, I forgot to mention a gradient of color. Oh, I think that was for the health spread I showed you with the Girl Boss ink overlay tapes. So that was a plannable challenge theme. So I use it there. Anybody who I'm working with, I put down here, and then I put in my posts for Instagram at the top, and my videos I have highlighted here at the bottom, and everything else is pretty much, you know, basic. Anything in red is just something I want to make sure I pay attention to or is something I missed, and that is how I use it. It's really simple and it's a lot more condensed, so it's a lot easier for me to transfer that information into my weekly and then just work off of this when I want an overview of the plan for the month. And that is it. So at the back of this, I have one more planner, which I don't share. I have a budget planner, which I keep track of my Etsy sales at the front in like a same kind of perpetual calendar. I'm using the Happy Planner budget planner this year, and it's also taking a bit more time in my morning than I really want it to. So that's another place where I think I'm going to be able to kind of contract a little bit in 2023. But I want to finish it out this year since I've already got so much information in there, kind of related more for our business or my business side of things. Accounting is new to me, so I have that in there, as well as, you know, just kind of the pages that go along with that. At the back, I think I can show you the back, yeah. At the back, I have one more section that I kind of referenced on the front. I had the task, goals, schedules, and then this section here is my reference section. And here I was just kind of like not long-term storage, but like short-term storage for things that I would reference in my personal life, you know, like notes and things, business, any kind of ideas I have for my business. I have a social tab, which is, you know, anything for, you know, social media ideas. And then at the back I have a collections tab, and that's just like, you know, books I want to read and movies I want to watch and things like that. I haven't really been utilizing this as much as I used to, so I don't know if this is going to also make it to 2023, but it's in there for now. And finally, a note section with some note paper, and that is the end of it. So a quick overview of my setup, as well as the flip through of all of July in my catch-all. That's it. That's all I have for you guys this month. Really, I felt like it was more condensed. I liked that. Less time that I had to, you know, go over things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment too if you'd like to get in touch, have any video ideas, have, you know, just any kind of comments whatsoever for me. I love you guys' feedback. You guys help me give you better content, and then I also just gives me warm fuzzies and keeps me energized to keep making content, because I can tell you right now, out in these planner streets, on the social media, things are not looking good for most content creators. You know, things are just getting really competitive, at least on Instagram, and then YouTube. I feel like things are going, you know, they're just going downhill. People aren't getting as many views, and it's just not growing like it used to. So I want to still make content for you guys, but you know, I want to make sure I'm giving you what you want and things that are useful to you. So anything you guys have for me to help me give you what you want, I would really appreciate. Thanks again, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you next time. Bye.